What's up?
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to the greatest podcast ever.
Not many people know it yet, but
They will.
eventually. And then you're going to be like, man, should have been in on it at the beginning of it.
Get up on this while you can.
Yeah.
Before all
We
the
should sell
hipsters.
stock for this thing.
Right. Before the hipsters eat this up.
All the hips. Oh, no. This is an anti-hipster podcast.
It's a hipster.
Yeah. I don't know. What do you think?
Well, yeah, I mean, this is...
What podcast this is anyway?
This is
It's called what? Movie Schmovie, right?
Schmovie.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
We never say it.
Right.
There you go.
I think it's implied, but
Okay.
saying
Maybe
it,
you did say it. I missed it.
Did I?
I do
No.
filter some things out that you say.
You do. You just...
Maybe.
Anything about dicks.
Basically, any word that begins with a letter and ends with a letter.
That's everything.
It's all... Oh, weird.
That's everything. At this point, you're just ignoring everything. So
So this is episode 21.
Okay.
All right.
So all you hear is grunts.
Yeah.
Sound effects.
Yeah.
Come on,
Back to you.
Hello. So we are back after a week hiatus.
Yeah, I started a new job. Life's crazy.
Life's crazy.
You know,
Bunch of stuff's been going on.
it's
so
just,
we're
but
back.
we're back
We're
with a
back.
vengeance.
Mm-hmm.
With a very controversial film.
Very controversial.
We're going to get to that in a second, but we're going to start the podcast off with our Mighty Minute review for the week.
Yes.
And we're going to kind of throw a wild card out there. We were talking about this film with a friend recently, based on the idea that the director has a new film coming out in the holiday season. The film is called Elizabethtown.
Elizabethtown.
Cameron Crowe.
Cameron Crowe's movie.
And we mentioned Cameron Crowe, and you kind of were like, what movies has he done? And I started naming films, and you're like, oh, I love that movie.
Yeah, I was shitting on him at first. I said a bunch of really foul things about Cameron Crowe. He made one of my favorite movies of all time, Vanilla Sky.
Yeah.
So-
and you didn't even know it.
Right, I didn't even know.
You're
he
like,
did it.
oh, Cameron, because I said I wanted to see his new film. We
Yeah.
bought a zoo, and you're like,
Okay.
oh, Cameron Crowe. Oh God, you like him?
Yeah.
Oh, you hipster.
Yeah,
No, you
but I
didn't
like
say
it. I would have said that if the conversation would have
Yeah.
gone on for long enough.
Yeah, well, Elizabethtown came out about 5 or 6 years ago. It was a film that had a lot going for it, and I think
did.
that when it hit the circuits of like the film festivals, it kind of lost a lot of its steam and kind of didn't get a lot of really good feedback from critics or even from audiences alike. Although, when I saw the film, maybe it was because I saw it after the fact and I kind of heard some of the negativity, I really like Elizabethtown.
So do
And
I.
I absolutely fucking love the soundtrack, both editions of it. There's like 2 volumes of it.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Incredible soundtrack of any kind of... like, I forget even who is on the soundtrack. Like, I know there's like a couple of Tom Petty songs on there. But like the film, like the way you remember the film, we were talking about it before, was like you remembered it as the music that she gives to him to travel the country to. And it's that music, it really has a powerful meaning in the film, but it also, like, when you watch it and you leave the film and you listen to the music on your own, it's like, you kind of reference the film, but it kind of gives you a feeling the same, like, you kind of want to take that road trip yourself a little bit.
Yeah, it was pretty incredible. One thing that I'll give Cameron Crowe in general is how well he places whoever he gets to do the soundtrack, whoever he gets to supervise these things, and it's probably him. He places these pieces of music so well in the film that you
Right.
never forget things.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's
So-
actually married to Nancy Wilson, who is one half of Heart. I don't even remember the 80s band Heart.
No.
She did all the original music for the film, and
Oh.
she does a lot of like stuff with his films. I'm not sure exactly who did the actual soundtrack for the movie, but I mean, all of his films are known for their music. I mean, he grew up as a writer, one of the youngest writers for Rolling Stone,
Right.
and kind of sort of based, almost famous on his life.
Right.
But Elizabethtown, Orlando Bloom, Kirsten Dunst, Alec Baldwin, Susan Sarandon, it's a killer cast, and I mean, if you're open to it, I'd suggest checking it out. It was a kind of a surprise to me when I saw it, based off of the negativity. It's a feel-good, dramedy. There's some comedy in it. There's some romance. A lot of, drama. A young man coming to terms with his father passing away and kind of checking his own life to see where he's at.
Mm-hmm.
But a strong film overall, in my opinion.
Right.
Yeah. So moving on to the feature review, I mentioned it a little earlier, teased it. Hopefully I teased you. There's a lot of teasing in the film. I don't know.
There's a lot of teasing.
Yeah, with genitalia, but if you know what I'm talking about now,
Right.
if you don't know it already,
I'm talking
I'm talking about Steve McQueen's Shame.
Steve McQueen's Shame. No,
Not the Steve McQueen.
The Steve McQueen.
I say that, and people are like, "Oh, Steve McQueen! I thought he died, or I thought he's like old, or whatever."
Right.
And I'm like, "No, not that one."
Or Alexander McQueen. That's what I've got.
Who's that?
Oh, Alexander McQueen is like one of the best designers of all time.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah, he's a very eccentric man. Wears like leather clad dude.
I feel like the name sounds familiar, but everyone that I've mentioned to like is talking about Steve McQueen from like Bullet and The Great Escape. But I mean, he passed away.
Right.
God, I don't know, like 30
Long time
years ago.
Yeah.
But there's a new Steve McQueen, young film director. You know, he had a
African American.
African American. Throw it out there. He had a film a few years ago called Hunger that Michael Fassbender was also in. Michael Fassbender being the star of Shame. But Shame is basically about a man in his 30s who has a pretty strong addiction to sex, and how he's able to curb it or not so much curb it when his younger sister comes into town to live with him, and kind of come to terms with what actually is going on in his life. Before we get too much into the film, though, here's a clip from Shame, so check it out.
You're the man. Your pitch? Amazing. To nailing it.
Success.
To nailing it.
Yes.
How'd it go last night?
Good night.
Let's do it again tonight.
And my sister's playing downtown somewhere.
I stay for a few days.
Where's Henry?
That's my boss.
Hey, do you want to play?
Your hard drive is filthy. I mean, it is dirty.
Slowly.
I'm trying to help you.
How are you helping me, huh? You come in here and you're a weight on me. You're a burden. You want to get out of here? I could take you somewhere.
We're family. We're meant to look after each other.
Hey, Romeo!
Brandon, please will you pick up the phone?
So yeah, this is a crazy movie, to be completely honest with you. The sexual addiction is a strange thing in general, because it's so taboo. What makes this movie even more interesting is that this gentleman is he's an attractive guy. So seeing a man who is perceived as a very attractive person and can readily get sex, but still has a sexual addiction or a dark sort of secret like that,
sure,
it's pretty amazing. And I think when I think of this movie, I think in the vein of like Mad Men or basically any show with a handsome person that has like a dark thing.
Yeah, like you're so good looking, but you also are so troubled.
Right.
Yeah.
One thing that I do think is kind of sad about the film industry in general, this is kind of random, but that like female sexuality is never quite as explored quite as deeply,
right,
as say this movie was. But basically, it takes place in New York, and this gentleman, Brandon Sullivan, is functioning in New York. He has a hip job, well-dressed guy, and it basically revolves around his sexual addiction. And his sister, Cece, comes in. Is it Cece? That's how he pronounced it.
Sissy.
Sissy.
Yeah.
Oh, it's because of his accent.
Maybe.
Because he kind of said Cece. It sounded like he was saying.
I heard Sissy.
Sissy. Okay, so Sissy comes into town. She is a kind of all over the place person. It doesn't really have her life together. I'm guessing she's around like almost mid-20s.
Yeah.
And she kind of plops into his life midway through. I guess what is the height of his sexual addiction.
Right.
And one thing that you learn very early in the movie is that his addiction leaks into every facet of his life.
Yep.
He masturbates at work. He watches porn at work. He does all these things. He pays people for like webcam sessions. It's very, very he's very enthralled in this whole sort of like porno thing, and he's not in deep relationships. He doesn't value them.
Yeah.
He kind of tells women this during the course of his interactions with them. So it's really interesting to see how this guy's functioning. And then to see his sister kind of plop down in the middle of it.
Well, you made a really good point, like when you say that it's like it kind of leaks into every aspect of his life. Like you said, he's really successful.
He has
a nice apartment. He has a great swanky job.
Right.
Like, they don't even really kind of tell you what they do at their job. It doesn't really disclose it, but it looks like maybe some sort of marketing or sales or advertising department. Super sleek, super modern. His boss, even though he's his boss, you can tell his boss envies him.
Right.
He is the the superstar of the office, it seems.
Right.
But yet, like you said, at work, in the bathroom, at his computer, at his desk, like it supersedes everything. Like it takes precedence over, this is priority for work. He's late for meetings. He's like, even though he does really well, you can see where it kind of compromises things in his life.
Oh yeah.
And not only just business and work, but I mean, he flat out says in the film, doesn't really look like relationships. Never been married, never will marry.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't understand what somebody would have to talk about in a long-term relationship. You get bored with one another. And that shows you that, I think, his interest in everything is purely physical and purely like physiological and just like all about the pleasure principle and not so much about, what most people kind of value about relationships, which is the emotional side. Which I think is kind of sort of what his sister, Sissy, kind of throws a little wrench in his plans, because when she comes to town, and kind of surprises him, that's when we are able to see she's very emotional, like right from the get-go. She's crying, she's jumping up and down, she's ecstatic, where he kind of plays it very calm and cool, and that's just kind of how he lives.
Yeah, it's very obvious that he makes it a point not to be very emotional about certain things, and when she comes in, it ruins that. That stuff starts to shatter. Like you get to see him overreact when she does certain things. I think that the bigger idea eventually, something that kind of unfolds, is that she does something to him emotionally, for whatever reason, that kind of takes him away from his idea of himself, which is this calm, very balanced man that has his life together, and then
maybe does he have his life together?
Does he have his life together? I think that's one of the dualities of all of this stuff that kind of exists. The notion that monetary success defines you as a person, and nothing else matters. So these flaws that exist with you don't matter as long as you have something kind of going on. You have a job and a life and something like that. So it's kind of strange.
Right.
So,
I don't know. I definitely agree with you. I feel like one of the big themes of the film is how different the siblings are.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of hinting at it before, and you even kind of going for it. It's just like the opening scene. You see him with a woman, and you see he like barely talks, but when he does talk, he's very smooth with the ladies.
Yeah.
And that's the part that I feel like his boss, who's played by James Badge Dale. From like the new show Rubicon, and he was in like he was in like back in the day Lord of the Flies, like the movie version with the kids.
Gotcha.
He was in the Pacific, but even though it's his boss, like you can see how he envies him, because like when they go to talk to women at bars, he's just so smooth.
Right.
But he's so calm and cool, and I think that's how he manages his addiction.
Right.
He's not an extrovert. He's not loud about it. He's very private about it in a lot of ways, even though at work he goes into the bathroom or, he's on his computer at work and tries to hide it. It's just so weird to me to see, though, that, like, there's some backstory between him and the sister, but the film never really gets into it.
Right.
And it kind of, you wonder, like, if that's what the splinter was, like, some sort of relationship, something happened in their past, like with family or themselves, between the two of them, or with other relationships that really forced them to go completely opposite directions.
Yeah.
Which, it's interesting. It doesn't really get too deep into that. I think it would have been neat to kind of maybe visit a little bit of what made them the way they are.
That would have been pretty cool. Kind of to match the intensity of this guy and his personality and his lifestyle are some camera things that kind of happen often. One of the things is these extreme close shots whenever the action's going on. So there's a scene where he's in a subway looking at a woman that he's interested in, physically attracted to.
Sure.
And these staring scenes are intense. They're like every shot of each person is about give or take maybe 30 seconds to a minute straight of you looking at one person, and then pans over to the other person. Jump cuts to the other person staring at each other. So it's like this is kind of sort of the theme of the whole film, this intense close shots, extreme close shots, scenes that last for a little longer than you would normally expect.
And that makes you uncomfortable, doesn't it?
It's meant to make you uncomfortable, I think.
You specifically, though.
Oh, yeah.
Very
it makes me uncomfortable.
You like want to look away.
Yeah, I wanted to look away. I did look away at some parts.
Yeah, I saw you.
Yeah, I just fucking couldn't take it at some parts.
I don't know, I think it's like kind of interesting. Like, it doesn't bother me a lot. I mean, I think those scenes are really interesting, especially like when you think about it earlier in the film and then you see it later in the film. Earlier in the film, I think those close-up scenes, you see a little bit of like him thinking. I feel like he's thinking about, what am I doing? Is this a problem? Question mark.
Right.
But then you see scenes of him earlier in the film too, like when he's looking at women and talking to women, where he is just as confident as they come, and isn't thinking one thing about I have a problem. It's more so I have something that I love to do, and it's like I know how to do it well, and I know how to satisfy that. But then towards the end of the film, you see a lot of challenges happening with him, and some low points and some breaks, quote unquote, that happen when we have those close-ups at those moments. And then in the film later on, he doesn't look as calm. He doesn't look as sure of what's going on. Whether it's when he's hooking up with a partner, or just sitting on the train, or sitting by himself. He seems a little more troubled, and he seems a little more unsure of whether this thing that pretty much consumes him is what should be what matters most to him.
Yeah,
do you agree with that?
Yeah,
Or
definitely.
What do you think about that?
You're absolutely right. Like, in fact, some of the beginning scenes are physically mirrored in the end. Like, as he starts to unravel, they're mirrored almost the exact same way that they were filmed the first part of the movie, which is also really cool. So one of the things that happens is as he starts to unravel, his sexual appetite increases.
Right.
So this is a really big sign that stress forces him to kind of dive deep into this sexual whatever it is.
Right.
You know what I mean? Whatever the blinders that he puts on when he starts like doing these extreme things.
Right.
And they are fucking extreme. Like he buys prostitutes, he has threesomes, he does really, really, really kind of raunchy things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it makes sense to me.
But put it into perspective with any film that's about any kind of addiction, like drugs.
Yeah.
I think about the whole time, like I'm reading a lot about, this film is Fox Searchlight is who acquired this film. I mean, I think it's awesome that they're keeping this NC-17 rating on it.
I don't think it needed a NC-17 rating.
Well, I mean, regardless of whether or not it should or not, I mean, I think it's kind of close in my opinion, but I think it's cool that they just left it there.
Yeah,
because I mean, it has a stigma, and I feel like they maybe feel like this film getting an NC-17, like you just said, it doesn't even need it, because like I think that we have such a perception in our minds of what that rating badge or what that that labeling means about a film. But I mean, we can go see a film like this, and it's about sex addiction, so that there's going to be some explicit material.
Yeah.
But I mean, needing an NC-17, maybe not. I think the fact that they just left it on there, it's almost a statement, that this is something that necessarily doesn't hurt a film, but it maybe is something that either one, there's a flaw in how they rate the films.
Yeah.
Or two, that it's almost become something that they use to like put a serious rating on something. Like, this is a serious subject.
Yeah.
It's not something that's just gratuitous for no reason. It's about, I mean, this is this guy's life. I mean, this is what he sees and feels every day. So I think giving you a glimpse into that, I think it's awesome that they didn't take that rating off or cut the film in a way that
definitely
would have jeopardized. Because I agree, I don't think it was too crazy. I mean, there's a lot of male like frontal nudity, which I think is what makes a lot of people uncomfortable.
Yeah. Flopping dicks always makes people uncomfortable.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I guess it does.
Yeah,
I mean, even the small audience we saw it with, you can see how immature and uncomfortable people are.
Even adults, like old people. Like
we saw it with all adults.
This is the crazy thing. These people have kids. Like, you had to have sex without a condom to make these kids. I don't understand why this is such a... I think that's why, you're right. Like, it had to come out that way. There's this duality that exists in our society, the portion of us that are really open-minded about things like this, and then the other portion that will never look at this subject with any sort of seriousness. And it is a serious subject. Like, there is a deterioration of sort of the perception of the value of sex. It's been deteriorated because it's so accessible, because you can see 3 people having sex with one girl, because you can see that stuff so readily. Mm-hmm. The idea of sex has kind of been reduced a lot of the time. And that's kind of one of the messages I think that was kind of coming across, is how accessible all this stuff is, on top of him just being able to get sex. Like, the fact of the matter is, he could not find the value in intimacy, real intimacy. Like, deep conversation. If you noticed during the course of the movie,
Yeah.
none of his conversations were really too deep.
Oh, yeah.
They're very on the surface, and when they try to get deep, he would immediately brush it off.
Brush it off or go into another topic that could be like a short-lived
Right.
conversation.
He is essentially Don Draper. I don't know if you watch Mad Men.
You know,
but-
I don't watch Mad
Oh my
Men.
goodness,
Yeah.
it's kind of the same sort of idea. He keeps it light. He hits them and leaves. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like he has sex with a unhealthy amount of women. You know what I
Right.
mean? And it doesn't make up for the pain that exists in them. They're very conflicted people, and they don't feel good about what they do. At the
Yeah.
end of the day, he can't live with it necessarily, or he wouldn't be the way he was. You know what I mean? It's a weird thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's a real subject. I think it's something that probably more people than you would think could relate to.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that because of films that come out like about drug addiction and other types of alcoholism and whatever it might be, like I don't feel like it is in mainstream society, but I don't think it's as crazy and as taboo as it was maybe a few years ago.
Mhm,
I
yeah,
don't know.
yeah.
I feel like films like this coming out and kind of embracing a rating like that or getting released by one of the major independent studios like Fox Searchlight, it's like, this is going to be seen one way or the other. Either go see it now with this rating, see it on DVD, see it from a viewing online, whatever it is. I mean, I think movies like this need to be made, and I think that they need to be seen, and whether you like it or not. I mean, overall, I feel like I didn't like the film as much as I maybe thought I would. I think that the gem of the film is Michael Fassbender. I don't know, man. I fucking love this guy.
He's good. He's really good.
I think he kind of is like a guy that's been in the background. Like, he's been in, I don't even know, man. He's been in like films like random shit, like Inglourious Basterds, 300.
Good movies.
Oh yeah, great movies, but he's kind of like in the background.
He's never
and,
been the lead,
and Centurion, I didn't even see that. I heard he was in that. But I mean, having a role in X-Men, which he was incredible in, and he got a lot of notice for being in Steve McQueen's other film called Hunger about the the hunger strike, the Irish hunger strike in the 80s. I think he has such great skill at just like completely convincing me that he is that guy. Like,
yeah.
I think he's like physically, he's a good looking dude. He has that leading man quality. If he could, if it transfers over one day into like a mainstream film. I know that he's working on Ridley Scott's Prometheus, which I don't even know. I think it's going to be coming out in 2012, which is, I think it's going to be awesome. But I don't know. I just feel like he is such a beast in this film.
He is.
Like scenes where he's by himself is just what I feel like the scene when he's on that empty pier, and when one of my favorite scenes in the film is when he leaves his hotel or when he leaves his apartment, when his sister and his boss are like kind of in the room together by themselves, and he just goes for a run, like a random run at night.
Yeah.
And it's a really cool, it's a well shot scene, like it's a tracking scene, like no edits. The camera just runs along probably 5 or 6 city blocks with him.
Yeah.
And he stops in the corner, and you see a broken crossing sign, like for, to cross or not to cross. And he even though he's all angry and there's no cars coming, he still stops and waits until it says he's okay to go. It's a really cool scene. And it's well shot. And you can see he's got earbuds in and he's running. Even though all this shit going through his head, he's still aware of where he's at. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think he did a really great job.
I thought so too. The other performances were really good. The boss.
He's kind of minimal.
Yeah, it's minimal.
But he was cool.
Yeah, I thought that everybody
Pretty charismatic.
The weird part is, although there were other people in the movie, the only people that really mattered were Brandon, the main character, and Sissy.
I didn't really like Sissy. I don't think in general. I don't know that I really like Carey Mulligan.
You don't like Carey Mulligan?
I don't know, man. Like
She
I
was
feel
way
like
different in this than she was in Drive, I was thinking.
Yeah, I loved her in Education, which is one of the movies that kind of really broke her through. Did you ever see that?
Yeah, I saw it.
Really good movie. Didn't
Education
love it.
was good though.
But she was really great in that film.
Yeah,
I thought. And I definitely kind of had a different vibe for her. And then I liked her a lot in Drive. Again, not as hefty as a role, but I feel like what she is in this film is the other end of the spectrum to him. She's obviously still a very sexual person. She almost gives it away too, but she is very sexual because I think she's seeking something.
Right.
She hooks up with his boss and she can't stop calling him. When she gets to the apartment that night, she's calling this other guy that she hooked up with. Where he, on the other hand, couldn't have interest in talking to you, one other conversation afterwards. You know what I mean? Unless you're a prostitute and he's calling you to do work.
So he's like, she is like in essentially his arch nemesis in terms of ideology
And what
like,
the end result is.
yeah, he just doesn't like. He actually questioned everything she did when he saw how she acts after kind of getting into this situation with the boss. Like, why would you call him? That's stupid. You're a whore. Why would you do anything? Like, it just doesn't make any sense to him because that is completely against anything he would ever do.
It's the complete opposite of what he would do. Yeah,
But I think the fact that she wasn't that likable, she kind of did her job. Because, I mean, she was annoying as fuck. I mean, she was supposed to be quite annoying.
Maybe that's why I didn't like her. I mean, because maybe she did a really good job at making me annoyed, and that's what she was supposed to do.
Just kind of lost, bumbling. You know, not really on a path or anything. You know, talented, but still not really using it well. And it's pretty interesting. So
yeah, I don't know. I guess I don't really have a problem with her. She didn't do anything to like impress me.
Right.
And I feel like that's the discredit to her because I'm sure she's a great actress. I've seen her in films that I really liked.
Right.
I think this film is so heavily about him that I just paid so much more attention to him and wasn't so much concerned with her, you know, as much as maybe I was supposed to be.
Right.
But I don't know. I mean, the film's in a limited, you know, rollout release, like most films that we seem to be reviewing on the podcast. And I don't even know if it's going to open in Baltimore. I mean, there's not too many houses here that play NC-17 films, maybe one or two.
Not at all.
So I mean, if you want to see this film, I would definitely, you know, recommend, you know, seeking out an art house cinema near you, or go to the Fox Searchlight site to see when it's going to be available in your city. If not, this may be something that you may have to wait to get on DVD because it is going to be. Not only is it a limited release in the number of screens it hits, but also because of its rating, you know, how many theaters actually will carry a film like this. But it's available now in theaters, select theaters, that is. But, you know, I'd say check it out. I'd say challenge yourself and go for it.
Oh, yeah, it's uncomfortable.
It's uncomfortable. It's a movie you probably won't see twice. So
Right.
if you like seeing movies in the theater and you want that experience, I would see it there and watch how uncomfortable it makes some other people.
Right. As the test.
Yeah. So you want to move on to our DVD quick picks?
DVD quick picks. So,
do you know what you want to throw out there?
Yes.
Okay.
Amanda July is the future.
Miranda July. You said Amanda.
Did I say Amanda?
Yeah, it's so
I said
weird.
Miranda. That was really weird. I was looking at her name.
So weird.
I said Miranda.
I'm pretty sure you said Amanda.
I'm pretty sure I said Miranda.
Okay.
Miranda July.
I'll bet you some sushi that you didn't.
Oh no, I
We'll
don't
follow up with the next podcast how that turned out.
Okay, yeah, we should definitely. Amanda July.
Okay.
Okay, so this movie came out super limited release. I think I may have talked about this in the movies I wanted to see this year.
Oh yeah, I think maybe what you were looking forward to.
Right. What I was looking forward to. So it's basically about a couple that gets a stray cat they adopted, and it's basically around their 30th birthdays. And what this cat does is kind of puts them in a position where this is the first thing that they have to take care of together for longer than, say, a couple days or a couple months. It's not a plant. It's an actual animal that needs care. And they start to reassess their entire lives based on this. It's like an existential crisis. So basically, this cat makes them question their entire lives. They don't even get the cat yet. This cat is like being treated. Its leg is broken.
Wow.
While it's being treated, they're kind of shaping their lives around what they want to do. So they decide to cut off the internet, kind of live their lives away from the grid, and kind of living outside of it, doing as much as they can. And this essentially breaks up their situation. It puts a rift in their relationship.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet.
Themselves. It's really good. It's really raw. I mean, the level of honesty in the dialogue, I really like it. It's a bit unrealistic in terms of how two people talk to each other for the most part. But I do know some people that do talk to each other like that.
Really?
But it is a really cool glimpse into the mind of Miranda July, which is insane, to be completely honest with you.
Is it on? It's on DVD now.
It is coming out on DVD pretty soon. I think around December, January. The date keeps changing. I saw it December. It was coming out December, and that changed, and I saw something else. So I don't really know when it's coming out. I saw December. Could be December. Okay, so it says December 12th, I think. I think it's out. Oh, it came out November 29th.
Okay, so it's been out a little bit.
Yeah, so it's been out for a little bit. So the
right
future.
on. I'm going to throw a random film out there. This is my connection to Michael Fassbender. A film that I saw, I actually didn't see it till about last year. It's a Irish film, or British film. I'm not even sure which country released it, but it's called Fish Tank. Have you seen Fish Tank?
No.
Okay. Fish Tank, Michael Fassbender's in it. It's basically the story of a 15-year-old girl, kind of lost, kind of curious, doesn't really do well in school. She's kind of kind of just on the way down, downward spiral. She has a lot of trouble identifying with her mother, but then she meets, her mom's new boyfriend, who's played by Michael Fassbender, and it's kind of just about their relationship, and like it's a really kind of awkward relationship because he's very extroverted and very out and almost uncomfortable, with her, not to give too much away for the film, but, kind of becomes an inspiration for her to maybe do some better with her life. The film came out, I think, in 2009, and, I don't know, I feel like it's a really neat look into how relationships can develop, not only from the last place you think they would, but from the exact opposite of a person like you are.
Right.
Kind of sort of like what's happening a little bit when we're talking about in Shame. Excuse me, but it's kind of that story. This is a mom's boyfriend who what does she give a shit? Like most kids, especially a kid like her in this film, she is very defensive, initially, and she's very like wants nothing to do with this kind of thing. But then it kind of develops this unlikely friendship, and it's really, and what gets awkward about it is because like she's a 15-year-old girl and she kind of. Her libido is developing, and she's very, kind of curious. And this is a very good-looking young man that, is very out. So, things get kind of awkward. But I would definitely recommend checking out Fish Tank. It's definitely available on DVD. It may even be on Netflix because, a lot of those, I think it's based in London or something like that. Right.
A lot of those indie movies get put on.
A lot of the indie films find their way on Netflix, which is how most people see them.
Yeah.
But it's called Fish Tank. If you like Michael Fassbender or kind of like movies that challenge how somebody might get their life together. It's not like a feel-good story at all. It's much more gritty in terms of, what it feels like and what it looks like. But I would definitely recommend checking it out.
Fish Tank?
Yeah. You have to see it. I'll watch yours, you'll watch mine.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know why they call it Fish Tank. Maybe because, like, everybody's watching you like a fish.
Yeah, something.
Fish, they've only got so far to go in there, but everybody can watch it.
Do they say it? Because sometimes when they say it, like, they have that long...
I think she might actually reference it in the film, but I haven't... Yeah, it's been a little while since... I don't remember if she actually does physically or actually say the words fish tank.
It makes me uncomfortable when that happens. Like it's like a big old fish tank.
Like when they throw it in there?
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know. Yeah, it's weird.
Well, when we write our $1 million idea... We'll never use the movie's name in the script.
Right.
Okay.
Can't do that.
By the way, we need to talk about a movie idea I had.
Okay.
All right. Off the record. We don't want to put it on here.
I would love to hear this.
People don't want to hear it on here because, I don't want to give away something for nothing.
They'll steal something.
They'll pay to see it in a couple years.
Can't trust these bastards.
These fuckers.
Fuckers.
Damn hipsters that found their way to our podcast. But that's going to wrap it up for this episode. We'll be back next week with another film. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but it's going to be a pretty fucking big film.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even think you know what it is, do you?
I don't.
You don't? I'm about to surprise your mind in about 5 minutes.
I'm so excited.
Sit down. But yeah, thank you guys so much for listening. Hit us up on the movieschmovie.net website. We've kind of been a little lazy with it recently. We haven't posted a whole bunch on there.
Yeah, that's a little something. Some stuff about Dark Knight and stuff like that.
We're going to try to get back to the drawing, kind of get back on the regular with that. But shoot us up an email to movieschmovie@gmail.com. Facebook is, anything that's out there we're on. Yeah. And for anybody that uses Mixcloud, I know you're really big with it and you like it.
Yeah, I like Mixcloud.
Hit up Mixcloud, subscribe to us there, share it to your friends and family on Facebook. That is if your family is okay with listening to an explicit podcast about movie reviews.
Explicit and flopping dicks.
Flopping dicks. If your family's down with that, then, you may have gotten the best Christmas present ever for them. But also in iTunes, I know we always say it, I'm sorry, but iTunes is how people find out about stuff like this a lot of times. Yeah, so,
please.
If you listen to it, share a link. You can right-click on the album artwork in the iTunes program when you're downloading it from the store and just copy the link and just paste it somewhere. And that would let people know about this podcast.
Definitely.
And rate it, too, if you listen. The more ratings we get, the more likely it is that we'll get actually recommended to people when they search for film reviews on there. So it would mean a lot.
Yeah. Please do it. Now.
Let's give them a moment.
Do it.
All right, that's it. That's enough time to right-click, copy link, paste it. So that's all the time you need.
Don't be an asshat about this.
God. Didn't your parents tell you not to be assholes?
Don't be an asshole asshat. That's the worst.
All right, cool, guys. Well, thanks so much for listening, and we'll talk to you soon. As always, you've made our day.
All right. Bye.
That was the worst one you've ever done.
All right.
I guess I'll leave.
That's lazy of me.
I got Chinese waiting downstairs, so I'm good to go.
Oh.
See you guys later.
Right.
Bye.